Hi guys, welcome back. So we're done with our isolation. As you can see, we are out in the nature. It's a small park in a residential area, Joe Morris Park. So we're here and it's kind of quiet and it's sunny. It's nice. So let's start. The three things that we're going to talk about today is health card, learner's license registration, and the last thing is a bank account opening. So our friend took us to the closest registry. So what you have to do is once you're done with the isolation, search for the closest registry near your area. For us it was 20 minutes away by walk. This is the same place. A registry is where you do, at the moment during this COVID scenario, that's where you do both your health card registration and the learner's license registration. So the documents required for doing the registration for the learner's license is, one is a passport, and second thing what we have to provide is our landing document, and again proof of address is important here too. So we gave them the rental agreement as always, because we didn't have any utility bill under our name or any Alberta identification documents or anything like that. So for people like us, it's always good to have the rental agreement. And these three things given, that's it. They take a few minutes to prepare us for the registration. Once we give these documents, they take a few minutes to register you, and then that's it. You can go for your test. So we thought we were prepared for the test. We're really overconfident, and we failed by a few points. So that's actually 30 questions in total, where you have to answer 25 questions correct, and you can make 5 mistakes, but the 6th mistake you're out of the test. Questions are not really super tough, but they're not super easy. So don't take it lightly. During your isolation, use the text or use the content if somebody can give you the text. Go through it, go through the book, be prepared, and then we will also give you a few links, because after failing this test, we went back again the next day. So we did not do the health card registration the same day. We took the form and then we went home, because we had to prepare for the theory test again, and we were disappointed. And then we went through we searched for a few links online, and we are going to post all the links below, that it's available on the YouTube and on the Alberta website itself, and also the just go through the text. That's it. It's simple, but make sure that you don't make any careless mistake. Read the questions a few times and be prepared. That's it. So the first day our friend had taken us, and the second day we went by walk and we reached there, and we have to re-register for the test. So there is a 24 hours gap. If you fail today, you can still do the exam the very next day again. You just have to pay again. That's $17 per person for the test. And so every 24 hours you can do it until you pass. And I would say if you fail the first time, go the very next day, because the questions are still fresh in your head. So while you prepare for the next day, you would know where to focus more and things like that. I'm not saying all the questions are going to be the same, but at least it will help you prepare. So we went in, we registered for the test again. We had to show all the documents again, and we were informed that we should bring the particulars from on whatever license we're going to submit, but for us they did not ask for the particulars. But if you have it, it's always good. And then we did the registration again, we did the test, and yay, we passed. We were done. And soon after the isolation, if the slots are available, when you go to the registry, you can do the exam on the same day. If the slots are not available, they might tell you when and how and everything. But for us, it was available, and we just did the exam on the same day. And the first time we failed, and the second time when we went, we got the slot again on the same day. We did the exam, and we went back to the counter. So there what happens is, now you have to give your documents again, and you have to pay $93, which is for the card itself. And they would also take a picture for you for the learner's license. And once this is all done, they would give a temporary slip, a paper, which shows that you have the learner's driving license. So the card would come to you by mail within 5 to 7 working days. This is what they said, but with Corona, I'm not sure if it's going to take a little longer. So once you get the physical card by mail, you have to go back to the registry again to see what's your next step. What I mean by next step is that the concerned department would be checking your driving license, what you have, the existing one, and the duration of it, if it's a new license, if it's an old license, and they would contact the government where it was issued, because if it was an Indian license, they would contact the Indian Transport Department and see our history and then decide what next. So once this was done, we did our health card registration. So for health card registration, again, the documents required or what we gave was passport and the landing document, and again the proof of address. So we gave the rental agreement. So the form that they give is very simple. If you are a single person, just the first page, fill in your details and submit for health card. And if you are a couple with a child, then one of you have to decide to be the primary applicant, fill in the details, and then the secondary applicant and dependent the child. And that's it. You submit the form, and there is no cost for health card registration. And it takes 3 weeks for the physical card to come by mail again. So they told us if there is an emergency before the card actually comes, we can drop in at the registry and tell them this is the emergency, I have to go to a hospital and everything. So they would give us a file number immediately, and we can use that file number to, make use of the healthcare facilities. But if there is no emergency, we just have to wait for 3 weeks and then get the card, and then you can visit hospitals. So we had queries about if Alberta covers from the day that you land in Alberta. We had the same doubt too. So what we did was we took a 30 days insurance just in case, because due to Corona and everything. So we took the insurance from an insurance company in Canada, and then they told us that it would cover Corona and any hospital visits or emergency visits, etc. You just have to pay and it will be reimbursed later. So, but regarding the healthcare in Alberta, do they cover you from the day that you land in Canada? So we asked the registry just to clarify it. So what she said was, obviously you cannot get out of isolation during the 14 days, but God forbid if something emergency happens and you have to go to the hospital, just make sure that you keep the bills with you so that you can later go back to the registry again and check with them on the reimbursement formalities. You might have to mail it to a certain address, and then the reimbursement can come back later. So this is what we heard from the registry, and I hope this helps you guys. So coming to bank account opening, what we heard when we came here is that you cannot open a bank account without actually having a SIN number. And you know how I explained in my previous video that SIN could take 20 business days. So we didn't want to wait that long, so we thought we'll just try calling banks and see how it goes. So when my husband called few banks, the best option that we got was through RBC. So when you guys come here, just make a list of the banks and then contact them and see the best deal that you would get. With RBC, we called them and booked for a telephone appointment, and an RBC representative called us, and he was great, and he did everything through phone. He explained to us the type of accounts available, and he explained to us the credit cards available. And for newcomers, the offer that RBC gives at the moment is $2,000 credit limit, and I'm sure you guys know that it's always better to have credit cards so that you can have a good credit history for the future, for any kind of loans or mortgage for the houses or things like that. So for credit cards, we took one MasterCard and one Visa card. So 2,000 was a good limit for a newcomer. At least for us, we were happy about it. And then that was it. So he said that everything would be done through phone, and we sent him the passport copy and the landing document copy through email, and everything was done. So like I told you guys, the bank account opening was done via phone, but we had to activate our accounts at the counter personally at the bank. And once this was done, we contacted our agent who helped us with the bank account opening via phone, and then he started the credit card application. So the credit card would be mailed to us within 7 working days, and we opted to collect the credit card at the counter at the bank rather than mail, because that's faster. And then debit cards would only come by mail. That would take 7 to 10 working days. This is what they told us. So this was a summary of our experience with all the 3 things, that is the learner's license registration, health card registration, and bank account. So please share your comments and queries below, and thank you guys. I hope this helps you. Bye, take care.